Hello, my name is Mike from Table Talk. I just wanted to share some things. This is going to be kind of a new series of videos that I'm going to be doing to just show some things that I want to show. There's no particular rhyme or reason to these videos. They're just an extension of Table Talk. So one of the things I wanted to show is the background that we use on Table Talk behind us. As you probably have figured out at this point, we use a green screen for everything. And the image that I picked for Table Talk is just kind of it's kind of a fun bedroom slash office-y looking room that I got on a website called Pexels. Pexels is a royalty-free website that I get a lot of stuff from for the stuff I do, the web development, graphic design, photography stuff that I do every day. And I upload some of my stuff there too to give back. But I'm going to put the author, the photographer's information in the description just to give him credit for what I'm going to show here. Let me just pop over to Photoshop and I'm going to show you around. As you can see, this is an image of the background it's the original image. So it's probably on the first 12 to 15 episodes we did. It's just the stock image. I didn't change it at all. The only thing I did was I brought down the exposure quite a bit, so it's not quite as bright. The original image looked kind of something like, let me show you, kind of something like this. And I didn't want it to be too bright because I wanted me and Kevin to stand out. So I actually just dulled it quite a bit like this. And like I said, after using it for, a few episodes, 10 or so episodes, I figured that I wanted to do something different. So I started removing things, right? So removing things. And then I decided, gosh, a week or so ago, to change the paint color, the blue, to something different. And so I changed it to red because I thought red was a nice color with this room. And this isn't a very high quality image, actually, to be honest with you. There's a ton of banding stuff here. It's actually a pretty low resolution image. It's just a regular old HD image, but it's pretty rough in a lot of ways. It doesn't help that I changed the color, which created a lot of the banding. But the reality is it's kind of in the background. You don't really notice it that much. So, it's not that big of a deal. I know some people will say, yeah, it's totally a big deal. But, for me, it's the background image. I am going to start recording the show in 4K. We got a new camera. We got some different mics. Anyway, so this is still going to be the background. I don't think it's that big of a deal. So the next thing I added was the logo. Now, the logo is, I'm going to do a different video on the logo. I actually took the logo. The logo is, I think, Futura, some sort of Futura bold or something. I actually took that I created it in Illustrator, It's just text. But I took that into Fusion 360. That's an AutoCAD program. I love Fusion 360. I have a 3D printer. I love designing stuff in Fusion and printing it in the real world. It's pretty fun. So Fusion has a pretty rudimentary renderer in it. Well, for me, I don't know how to use it that well. Maybe some people know how to use it really well. But I just took the SVG from Illustrator and put it into Fusion 360 and did a rough render on it. And that's exactly what the Table Talk logo is just a render from Fusion 360. Anyway, so the logo actually is two parts. It's got the logo and just a little rough shadow I created with just the pen tool, basically, or the brush tool. It works. It's not awesome. It's not fantastic, but it works. And one of the things I really wanted to do, which kind of started my whole brainstorming here, is to change the center photo pretty much every episode now. And the center photo, I think it's pretty cool. So the center photo, there's one of the experimental photos I was messing around with, is actually a smart object. So if you double click on it, it'll open up another Photoshop tab, another file, and you can pretty much use any image you want to, save it, and it'll just jump right back into the file there. And that works for all these. These are just test images I got off of Pixels. I really like this image a lot. I love the colors. And it goes well with this red, I think, actually. Actually had a canvas layer on here, but you can't really see it well enough, so I just took it off. Plus it darkens it quite a bit. Speaking of darkening it, one of the things I really wanted to add was a light source. I don't have any of those lights in my house on any of my artwork or photography, but I do love these lights that shine on photos. And I wanted to create one in Photoshop that gave the illusion that it was real. So really all it is just this image right here. And then I created the light. The light source is just basically, what I did was probably something like this. And I created an oval. And then I did something like, I filled it with white. Whoops. I filled it with white. And then I probably, if I'm guessing, did something like this. I blurred it quite a bit. There's 100 different ways you can do everything in Photoshop, by the way. So some people are probably like, what are you doing? That's so stupid. That's a dumb way to do that. But it's how I do it. And then I changed the blending layer to, let me find out what blending layer, blending layer. It is, or blending mode, sorry. It is divide. So let's put divide on this. Where the heck is it at? Divide. So that is pretty much exactly what I did for the most part. Although I think if I look at this is divide. Yeah. So what I did was this actually isn't 100% white. I think it's kind of a gray. Yeah, it's like a medium gray. So I think the divide actually needs it to be less than white. Anyway, so that's what I did. And then what I did also is, of course, you can grab the photo frame itself. Whoops. Photo frame itself. And then you can do and I did that by holding Control. This isn't really a Photoshop tutorial, but anyway. Select inverse, and then basically now this is a really rough version of this, by the way. So now you can go back to divide, and now it's lit up. So if you put this above it, really gives the illusion that it's lit up by the light there. Obviously it isn't, but I kind of like that one better. It's a little more subtle. Maybe I'll light it up just a touch more. Something like that. Anyway, so I love the light. And then I decided to add some pictures, just a little bit more of an adult ambiance to this. And let's see. Oh, the lamps. So I wanted to add something to the dresser here, which I don't know why there's a dresser in our office, but whatever. Let's see. So what I did, let me show you this. So what I did was I downloaded another image from Pixels of a room, and I was just going to pick different objects to put on the table, and I tried like 10 different things. None of them really looked great, so I ended up just using this lamp. I cut this lamp out in Photoshop, and then I wanted to obviously illuminate the area like it was real, kind of like this is with this little lamp here. So I just started creating light sources. And then I created the light source on the dresser. And then, lastly, I created the light bulb, which the light bulb is just literally an oval with some blur on it. So that's pretty much the two lamps. So that's the new room. It's much more grown up. Let's change the photo just out of curiosity again. So I love the new room. It has a much more grown up feel. It's just a fun fun room, and I'm going to be adding stuff probably all the time. It's just fun to tinker with it. It's not a hugely intensive thing to do. It's just fun to goof around with it. Anyway, so this is the room in Table Talk. If you guys want to, look at it next time you're watching the show. And just to let you know, I'm trying to publish an episode every week. So please check out the show and let us know if you have any questions or topics or whatever. That's it, guys. I just wanted to do a quick walkthrough of the background in Table Talk. Have a good one.